Hello and welcome. So good to see all of you. And please leave a comment to say that our sound is working and that you are all here greeting us, and we are greeting you, of course. And in this little live, we're going to address the beta reprint that has just been, it has been announced for some time, but it has been sort of a hot topic all over the internet right now. So, of
Hello,
course, we're also
Gabriel.
going to take our little take on this beta reprint because the
Oh,
news is, of course,
mm,
that beta is out of stock with Team Covenant. And that has, last time that happened, that had a tremendous impact on the prices for beta, both sealed and singles. So we're going to show you what happened the last time and going to address this news and see if this is going to maybe be the same picture or if something new is going to happen. But hello and welcome, of course.
yes, good to see you. Hello, Emmett, Gabriel, Matthias. Hello, everybody. Lovely to see you, and welcome to the live stream. So happy that you could join us. As Jens said, we're going to be talking a bit about the fact that Team Covenant is now out. As a tiny disclaimer to that, I do want to mention that as of, I think, like a couple of hours ago, Stephen in the Team Covenant Discord made just like a small notice that they had actually done like an inventory and found some leftover beta boxes. They had put those beta boxes up for sale today on the website, and I think roughly 20 minutes later, they were completely sold out of beta. So that was like just like a box here and a box there left when they did inventory, and now beta is completely out of stock at Team Covenant. And they don't know, I think, at this point, if they're going to get any on the next reprint that's coming on later.
Yes, and that is, of course, one of the big uncertainties because in our last live we did together with Joshua, Lord of Itza, we sort of talked about the beta reprint, and right now we are, well, sort of undecided. Is reprinting all the time a good thing? No, it's not. But what is actually very uncertain right now is that we don't know how much is being reprinted, we don't know where it's going to be allocated, and we don't know if it's going to be where we actually need the product or if it's going to flood places that already has a lot of product. And until those uncertainties are sort of being figured out, it's too early to say if the reprint is a good thing or not, because we also know that some corners of this world has been lacking a lot of product. And if product's not going to come to these places, it's not going to be possible to actually play sorcery. And we need this game to be played.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, we're going to, through the live, we're going to do a bit of like a history check, like what happened the last time. The last time was, I believe, sometime around April last year. But at that point, we didn't know that we were going to have more beta later on. So that was, people just like went out, bought it. A lot of price swings happened. We're going to have a look at that a bit later. But right now, what we see on the prices that are trending upwards, but we'll get more into depth with that, is that people are clearly aware because of the All Things Contested Realm podcast with Simon that we do expect a reprint at some point. And I think that is somewhat keeping sort of a lid or a ceiling on the prices because everybody's like, should I buy now? What's the smart move? Would it be smarter to wait until the reprint happens? But if you're in Europe like us, the thing that sort of happened with Wave 2 was it came and it went. It went pretty quickly. So at least for some stores, any sort of like tiny restock they got was like pretty immediately sold out. But I did want to sort of base this more on facts. So instead of just like guessing, I went to the store locator and then I checked out like Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, France, Italy, Spain, Hungary. I tried to check out like a big section of Europe. And what I can see is like most countries actually have like one or two stores that still have beta left. If it's wave 1 or wave 2, I have no idea. But there are still some stock left. But again, we're not talking multiple boxes. It seems like most stores have like from 6 to 12 boxes left, at least on the web page that you can put in your basket. What is that called?
shopping cart.
In your shopping cart. So again, it's hard to say how much product is actually out there, but there is definitely still product also here in Europe, but it's like really spaced out and might not have that depth of stock that you might want to see. So yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, we're just gonna say hi to you.
Yeah, you could do that because I think this
See
comment is
Cosmic
also.
Seeds, Rapsaga, Jürgen, hello. Raul, why print more beta? I think right now what they've spoken about in terms of either doing a revised or unlimited style set is that they want to do, and I mean, this is just what I've heard Simon say in some of the interviews. This is not necessarily my take on it, is that they want to do a revised set later on, but they want to have more sets out so they are more aware of what cards actually do need a reprint. And at that point, I assume that a revised set would be either with a different symbol, with new art, whatever, to sort of keep the collectability of the older sets. But again, as far as we know, there's only one more reprint of Beta coming, at least announced, and we don't know anything about the size, the target area, or when, which is also interesting because timing is going to be really important, and we'll dive a bit into that also a bit later on.
Yes, and how is that pronounced? Doodleschnack.
Maybe.
Good luck pronouncing that. Yeah, but I think that's a very good point also, that Arthurian Legends is a small set. It's a great set. It's great for sealed. It's great for draft, but it's too small to construct it. It simply is. So if we want people to come into tournament play, if we want people to play constructed, they need to have access to beta. And of course, people could buy singles. There's a lot of singles players, single stores out there. So that is definitely a viable route to go. But if people want to have that box cracking experience, they need to be able to buy beta. And you need to have beta in conjunction with Arthurian Legends if you want to have constructed play and have, decks that are actually tournament competitive.
Yeah, and I also think we need to remember we're heading into a season of, like, the spring and the summer, a lot of events, not only in the US, but also in Europe, probably also other regions. And I think that most people, if they're hosting constructed tournaments, will, as Jens said, need the beta cards. And maybe there's also, I think another thing that hasn't really been discussed is the fact that we all knew, even in advance of the beta reprint announcement or notice or conversation, that they would be restocking and reprinting the beta precons. And I think universally everybody in the community is really happy with that because they're a great onboarding product. But I do think that if you're printing the beta precons, the way the printing sheets are set up might also actually require you to print the beta boxes or the beta cards themselves in order for it to be viable to even print the precons. So I imagine that we're going to get some beta boxes, don't know how many, and a lot of them are probably also going to go to these new LGS kits because both Drew and Jesse are working on some initiatives with LGS's local game stores where they get, like, promotional stuff with the different promo cards, they get play mats, but they also are going to get some beta boxes and Arthurian Legends boxes. And I don't think that the company have enough beta left to do that and roll out that initiative for local game stores without printing the precons, but also the beta boxes. So instead of thinking that everything is going on the market, I also think that a good chunk of it will be like reserved for the company to do this like LGS rollout and get more LGSs onboarded into sorcery. And I think hopefully most people would be very happy about getting more LGSs and more places to play.
Yeah. And regarding prices, we just look at some of the prices in Europe, and some stores has it below or very close to MSRP. And of course, some stores are also kind of pricey. But I think, should I just go to our
Yeah, I'm
graph?
just going to take a note on that because I did actually check, I think, like at least
a lot of stores.
A lot of stores.
16 different stores.
Yeah, 16, 17 different stores. And what I could see was like most were in like the €180 price range, some a little lower because they have like some discounts going on, and all the way up to €234. So there's quite a big range on the pricing. But I think we should definitely take a look at what happens. So let's just we'll just do a brief history check on what happened the last time that we had beta boxes go out of stock from Team Covenant.
Okay.
And again, this is not to drive FOMO or anything like it. It is just to sort of show you what happened, and then we can talk about what might happen this time.
Oh, shite.
Oh, that was...
Okay, maybe I'll just... Can I do a screen, you think?
Yes, I think you can.
Can I do full screen here?
Yeah, but I think you still need to go, and we're just getting some graphs up for you so you can actually see what happened the last time. Share screen. Window, yes.
Window, yes.
Yeah, there you go. We are getting it up. So guys, just let us know if you can actually see this. That would be really helpful if anybody could just like comment that, yay, we are actually getting a price trend. Anybody seen the graph? Do let us know. We're a bit behind here on chat. I think it's lagging a little. But if any of you see it, maybe you can just see what are we looking at here with this price tracker.
Yes, so this is the Sorcery Price Tracker tool.
Yes.
And
I'm just going to double check that it is showing. Yes, they can see it.
Cool.
Woohoo!
And what we've been doing here is that we have isolated the beta booster boxes. And what is really interesting, I don't know if you can see our mouse. I hope you can. But around here in the end of...
I think it's like April.
March, April stuff. Yeah. You see this big jump in the graph. And what happened here was that the first, what's it called? Sellout of beta on Team Covenant was announced. And that made prices explode. And this is both true for the beta boxes, the sealed boxes, and also for a lot of the singles card. We saw that both prices on singles and sealed product exploded. And then the reprint of the summer beta was announced. And from that point on, you can see that prices trickled down. And then at one point, they came a lot down, a little bit of a jump, and then a big fall. And around here, prices seem to be stabilizing a bit, very close to those $180, $200 kind of range. Here you have them down to around 180. And from this point on, you can see prices are slowly ticking upwards. And what we could expect to see is that prices might be having this kind of big jump again, at least until we see the extra reprint of beta hitting the market.
But I don't think that's well, so you can let us know what you think. I don't think we should expect to see like a major... Should we just stop sharing him?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think we will expect to see like a big, massive jump because it jumped all the way up to 300. I don't think we should expect to see that. All we can say that is right now it's like there are around 34 listings on TCG Player, so like US only, and they're at a price range from like 189 to 199, maybe even slightly around 200 without tax. So again, we are seeing a slight price trend upward. But I think this momentum is not going to look like the last time because we do know we have a reprint coming. But in reality, how much, when, anything like that, we have no idea about. But I think people are being slightly more cautious, which is also, I think, a nice, pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah, there's definitely not the same amount of FOMO hitting the market this time. And of course, I think that's good because those explosion in prices, that isn't good.
Okay, let's just see
here. We're talking
here.
about the unlimited.
We're talking about the unlimited. Yeah. Fabio here. Could the fact that an unlimited version is not being made be related to the cost associated with the artist and the required modification work? I don't think so. To be honest, I am not a part of Airsheosa, so I don't know, of course, but my understanding is that they're not lacking in finances. If they wanted to go with that sort of model, I think they would. I think they are being very cautious, and Simon did say that it's going to be targeted to mainly stores, LGSs that run events, to support that growing and community building. So I don't think the cost would be a prohibitive factor. I think a revised set is something, this is an unlimited beta, as far as I understand your question. But I don't think the costs are actually what's stopping that from happening. I think they want to reprint beta, and then in a couple of years from now, I think they're going to do a revised set, and at that time decide, okay, which cards from the past 3, 4, 5 sets need a reprint, because of course, if the game continues to grow and expand, we will need to see reprints at some point. But hopefully, and I would advocate for with new art, a new set symbol, somehow making it very clear and very distinct from older sets, because we do have quite a bit of alpha and beta, or at least beta right now circulating.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you're absolutely right that, you know, we're not going to see an unlimited set because they are printing in waves. And, you know, in that light, it is sort of unlimited already because they can just print more if they want to. But I think I think they are very cautious. I think that from the get-go, Eric Chiosa has said that they want Sorcery to be a collectible card game. And so far, I think they have delivered on that promise. We can also, you know, we can always discuss how collectible should it be and stuff like that. Should it be very limited? Should it be only for the few? Should it only have been the first wave of beta and all like that? But I think right now they are sort of walking this fine line between having a game that's playable and having a game that's collectible. And we are still seeing that foils are very, you know, very attractive. The prices on foils, especially the unique foils, are very high, you know, especially compared to a lot of other card games. If you compare to Magic, when a new set of Magic is released, it's you know, it's a different beast altogether. And right now we're also seeing that people are going to speculate on the foils. Our sponsor, Cool for Heroes, we are, you know, in very frequent contact, and he has said that right now he's seeing that there are targeted buyouts for specific foils. A lot of the unique foils in Arthurian Legends are being targeted. We're also seeing specific cards in Beta being targeted right now. So people are aware that the foils might right now be, you know, underappreciated in price, and people are speculating that these foils, because they are hard to get, they might be very lucrative.
I'm just going to pick up on this comment here. Raul Santana is saying that the amount of new players, is it increasing? Is there data on this? I do think it is increasing. I don't think it's by any means like exponential growth. I think there's a good, steady, solid growth. I was already pretty positive to see that they're, you know, adding up to 12,000 players at SorceryCon. That was November last year. So I think I would expect that it has already grown. We've seen, like, if you look at just the numbers on the social media, their Instagram account, their official Discord, the Facebook page, everything is growing in numbers. And also, I mean, if we look at something like our own channel here, we can also see that more and more people are coming, and a lot of them are asking questions about, like, relatively simple question about rules that seems to show that there are new players, which is awesome, because that means that there are new players coming into the game. And I think actually there's also a better retention than I would have, you know, not necessarily expected, but, you know, it's a good retention. Older players are coming back in, re-engaging with the product. So I think, like, so far, I think the game is doing really well. It's not explosive. It's not doing, you know, amazing, but I think it's doing really well. It's like growing as we would expect, especially because they're doing sort of organic growth. They're not doing a lot of marketing, and that's another thing you could discuss. Would you want to see more marketing? And also, just, you know, throwing back to the beta reprint, there is also a thing about, like, having the Dragon Lord set being announced with only 13 card. That set does need support from beta if you want new players to come into the store and be like, wow, okay, Edbeard Jr., really cool packaging. I mean, we've seen what they did with Arthurian Legends, right? They're going to do something really cool and epic, I'm sure of it. But then you have your 13 cards, and what do you do with those 13 cards? You're going to have like some of the beta cards. And I think, like, having a small reprint, especially for stores doing a lot of events, will be okay. I just don't want to see a massive reprint, and I really hope that they're able to make sure it goes to stores that are actively growing communities.
Definitely. We also spoke with Jürgen from the Learn Part of it this weekend, actually, that at SorceryCon, wasn't it SorceryCon? Where we had all this data being announced.
Yes.
Yeah. So at SorceryCon, they announced that there have been printed 100 million sorcery cards. And, you know, if you just do a rough estimation, divide that by 15 to have a booster pack, and divide that by 36 to have a box of booster packs. Well, that gives you 185,000 boxes. And that is, divided between Alpha, Beta, and Arthurian Legends. So we don't know the numbers. The company
this is
isn't,
speculation.
of course. Yes, but you can take the numbers that they've actually
absolutely.
divulged.
But just to say,
it is speculation.
Numbers.
But that also could indicate that, when people are saying that, betas are 120,000, it probably isn't.
No, also because you need, out of that 185,000, you already need to subtract the 30,000 that was from the big, the Alpha Kickstarter boxes. So even starting to divide that out, and then you have to divide both between Beta, Precons, and between Arthurian Legends. I mean, all in all, I think Sorcery is a really good spot right now. But I do actually think I wanted to just pick up on another comment here. DR is saying that the lack of boxes, at least in Europe, is hurting the player pool. I was a bit surprised. I don't know if you were here from the beginning, but I decided to sort of like do a checkup on the store locator, go through all of the different countries and just check out the different stores, not all of them, but a lot of them. And I can actually say that if you're in Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, Germany, France, Switzerland, Italy, Spain, Hungary, or Finland, there is actually still boxes. Most of these are at like a decent price, like 179, 180 euros. But there are actually quite a bit more stores than I had expected to find that still have beta boxes. Not any beta precons, but they're getting a reprint. But there are actually still some. And if anybody's interested, like hit me up. I will be happy to post the list that I made with all the stores in Europe that still have boxes available. So if anyone is interested.
Yeah, indeed. But I think there's some weight to DR's statement, because if you are a new player and you don't know about sorcery and you're going into your local LGS, you might not see product on shelves. In our local LGS, we have a lot of boxes online. We just try to see, how much can we put in our shopping carts. And that was a lot of beta boxes, actually. If they have them or not, that is, of course, not certain, not always with that shop at least. But the last time I visited our local LGS, there was nothing on shelves, not a single sorcery product. And that is, of course, hurting player growth. If players are seeing us play in our local LGS and they're like, oh, can I buy something? And you're like, yeah, but you need to go online and it might be a bit of a hassle. Instead of just going to the counter and say, hey, I want that.
Sure. I'm just picking up on this. Hey, Jason, I believe I met you and interviewed you at Siege at the Core. I tend to agree somewhat. So my explanation for it is like, I think there is actually a good amount of beta out there, but I think there's something about like where it is clumped. There is definitely not like widespread across Europe. And I think something that would really help and maybe even make a reprint for Europe, at least maybe unnecessary, was if we could get it on card market. Like get that all that secondary market bulk that everybody's having in their houses actually out on card market. Then we could shop and we could pick up cards and we could go more of the singles route. But I do think there are certain areas and there are certain stores that have been doing a lot of events that don't have like a ton of boxes left. But as I said before, I really hope for a small targeted reprint. And I think one thing we also could discuss, which I think is something on our plan as well here, is the timing of it. Because when is a good timing for this beta reprint? Is it just before the Dragon Lords mini set? Is it between the Dragon Lord mini set and Gothic perhaps coming in the like fall, winter? I think like it's difficult to see exactly where the best placement of a reprint would be. But I mean, let us know down in the comments. I would love for you to like speculate a bit with us here. When would a good timing be for this reprint set? And let us know what you think. Just gonna remove.
There's also one asking about stores in Lisbon.
I think I only checked like a couple places. I think that the two stores that I could find, and mind you, I didn't check everything, but the two stores I could find didn't carry anything on their website, at least. I think one of them only had like a Facebook page, maybe, and I couldn't like immediately find Sorcery, but I can put up the list. There was definitely something at least in most countries. But I mean, for some countries, there might be like a bit of a gap.
Yeah, and maybe a local Dane here, that even though that product was available in Denmark and has been for some time, the prices have been absolutely ridiculous. They have been revalued right now, and are down to, was it 185 euros?
Yeah, 83 or something. Yeah.
So right now the prices are decent enough, but they have definitely been way too high, and that might also be, monopolizing, because it has been one shop in Denmark that has been able to have stock for some time.
Jason, again, Simon keeps saying, like, every time it's brought up on the official Discord, he says, like, hey, they're very interested in sorcery, but they still want more people to email. And I'm like, I'll email them again for sure, but I've sent like a couple of emails already, and I feel like, I think like card markets sort of like needs to make up their mind, and I would love to see them add sorcery, because it's like, just like TCG player serves a massive function and really gets the game out to a lot of people in the US, we need the same for Europe, of course. So I hope it gets on card market very soon. And I do think that card market is interested. It's my understanding that they met up with them, spoke to them something at Essen Spiel, and they were really impressed with sorcery and quite happy to see that there were a lot of people. But we need to sort of like, card market needs to get moving, because we need sorcery on card market. It would do a lot for the European growth of the game. So hopefully soon. But again, I saw I think like today or maybe even yesterday, Simon say, hey, email them, let them know you're interested. So if anybody hasn't done so yet, send an email to card market, let them know you want sorcery.
Spam the fuckers.
Should we just put on that one? Maybe you want to read it aloud.
Yeah, okay. So being that the pull rate in AL is hard, do you think there's a better deal? Second question, do you know if Gothic will have better or be better pull rate wise? We don't know. We don't know anything about the pull rates. We know a bit about the set size, but nothing concrete. Nothing concrete.
Yeah.
So we just know that Gothic is going to be a much bigger set than AL. But we don't know how it's going to be packaged. We don't know if we're going to see boxes with 24 booster packs or 36 booster packs, and we have no idea about the pull rates. I think they did this pull rate spread when Alpha was released, and I think they're trying to stick to the same percentages, because we have seen that with Arthurian Legends, even though it was a bit...
It was a little skewed
because the elites... and that might, have been a gameplay sort of move, but I think it has been a bit annoying, actually, having to differentiate between certain elites and true uniques. And I hope they're going to fix that for Gothic. But yeah, short answer, we don't know if the pull rates are going to be better. Second answer, is Beta going to be better than AL? Right now, I think Beta might be a better product to buy. I think there are some bigger hits in Beta, and I think overall you're going to get a better spread of cards, and you're going to maybe get more playable cards. That being said, I still think that Arthurian Legends is a solid set. I think it's very fun if you're playing Sealed or if you're playing Draft, and I think there are some really good cards in Arthurian Legends. What might dissuade me and skewer my point to buying Beta instead of Arthurian Legends is that if you have opened a few boxes of Arthurian Legends, you're going to see too many repeats of the same cards. Yeah, that was a very short answer, right? Sorry.
I'm just gonna pull up. I feel a good time to release a reprint would be between Dragonlord and Gothic to support mini set and prepare for the big expansion. Yeah, I think so, but I'm leaning towards, I would love to see Beta maybe even come out like simultaneously with the Dragonlord, or maybe just before, so that it's like in stores, maybe catches a few eyes, gets people ready for the Dragonlord set. And then when people go in to buy their Dragonlord set, because I think Edgar Jr. is really hyped about really promoting it and getting it out to stores, that people can grab Dragonlord pack, set, whatever. We still don't know how it's going to be packaged, and grab a beta box at the same time. I think that would be a really nice way to go about it. But I am a little concerned with Simon saying that they're going back to the Dragon Lord. He said that in the recap video around Christmas or just before Christmas, that they're going back to tinker with the Dragon Lord. And I can't remember if he said like mechanics or just like text. But either way, I'm like, I thought maybe the Dragon Lord set was already printed. But clearly it isn't if they're going back to it now and just fixing a couple of things. So I had hoped Dragon Lord would be Q1 of 2025. I think like more realistically Q2, maybe Q3, but like cross fingers that it will be Q2. So hopefully beta boxes, Dragon Lord, and then Gothic. But I think your idea definitely makes sense too.
I just wanted to, this comment.
Yes, Jason.
Yeah. So, and I think this is a listing, of course, of some of the great cards in Arthurian Legends, and I'm, absolutely on point. There are a lot of great cards, and these are, of course, only the uniques. And I think there's also a lot of great cards in the ordinary slot and the exceptional slot. So
and elite.
All in all, you're going to get a lot of great cards. I think the only problem with Arthurian Legends is that after having opened 2-3 boxes, you're going to see too many of the same cards.
But still,
but it's a solid set.
It is a solid
set.
Don't
get me wrong.
And I mean, we thinking about maybe even doing a video for this because we've been going back and forth. In the beginning, I was just like super psyched about it. The box looks amazing. The art is really good. The flavor of Arthurian Legends, everything. And then I was like, I don't know. It feels maybe it doesn't feel the same. But again, we're comparing it to Alpha and Beta, which was just like a blowout, amazing set. And really new and the first experience of sorcery. But then I went back again, and when you look at the cards being put into constructed decks, when you look at the ability to play limited, like both sealed and draft, and how fun and really well synergized it is, I'm like, I think they did a really good job actually with Arthurian Legends. That's like my final conclusion for it. I've come to like really enjoy the set. Even picked up another box because our LGS just put it on a bit of a sale, so really snagged one there, which we will be doing some seal play with, so check that out later. So I think Arthurian Legends has a lot to offer also for constructed decks. Actually also annual fair is being brought up as well, and I think like we're thinking about Magic, like the smoothing out the curve and
Valley of Delight.
Valley of
Delight.
I
think some of the tricolor lands might also in the long run become very important game pieces.
Boudica is already on a buyout. She really went up in price.
I'm happy to see that card get some love. I think it's a great card. And I'd be like, why are people playing this? It's a great card. Are people? But it's definitely going to be one of the great cards later on. Morgana is also absolutely broken.
Yeah, and I mean the ring, the amulet, there's a lot of cards that will be important cards even in the future. And I think somehow that's also the hallmark of a great set. I mean, it's really good to play here and now. If you open the box and you play Seal with that box, you're going to have such an absolutely amazing time playing. And then you can even add to your constructed decks. And if you look at the constructed decks, even in the meta right now, a lot of the cards from Arthurian Legends have found their way into constructed decks. So, I mean, just like Archimago, right? He's definitely ruling some of the meta right now.
Definitely. That's also, just look for the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's also, it's a fair point, because you could also say that right now, if beta boxes are going to increase in value, and right now Arthurian Legends is down-ticking, so there might be a certain balance where you should switch Horst from buying beta to just buying Arthurian Legends if they become too cheap.
But again, I think the difficult thing about actually thinking is the smart move to wait until the reprint comes, but then your region doesn't get any, and then beta boxes are going to be more expensive than they are now? Or is it like going to feel really like buyer's remorse if you buy a beta box right now and you see the reprint come and then the price goes down? I mean, it's difficult to analyze. In the end, if you haven't got beta, buy a beta box. I mean, I think it's worth it. Even above MSRP, I think it's worth it. It's a shit ton of language. It's really a lot of fun. It's a great box opening experience. Definitely buy. I mean, go buy beta box. It's fun. You're going to be happy to have the card. Even a ton of the, just the ordinary cards Common Sense, Amazon Warriors, Autumn Unicorn. There's so many cards, also exceptionals, that you should definitely want to get a hold of if you want to play.
Thank you, Lion.
Oh, hi, Lion. Good
And
to see you.
That's very generous. Very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, the binder fiasco. Yeah. I'm you know, it breaks my heart. The binders are absolutely beautiful. It's a great product. And of course, they have, gotten test prints, and it has been absolutely flawless.
And I mean, I saw
then,
the test print.
Yeah, and then the official release, and it's not by a lot. It's we're down to millimeters, but of course it is a problem, and I think they handle it beautifully. They have refunded all the money that people forced out, and
Absolutely.
they even refunded the shipping cost. So I think they have been absolutely fair, absolutely generous, and it just breaks my heart that they're trying to do good. They're doing a lot of great products, and such a shitty printing mistake or some sort of stupid machine just wrecks it.
Yeah, someone who actually works in production said that sometimes they recalibrate the machines, and then if you're not careful with the settings, it just it shifts the setting, and then it just fucks up. And again, Lion, thank you so much. I'm thinking I'm gonna can I do this? Can I see? Oh, does it help? No.
Yes, hold it.
Sometimes you can hold it.
You can do that, and then
you can do that.
Yeah, you see.
Wow, that's horrible. I'm sorry you had to watch that. That was horrible. But thank you so much, Savannah Lion. Great to see you. I really hope that you got into the new year well, and everyone in the family as well. Yes, Lion is the best. Singles. Eric, I would be very interested in hearing your take on, do you mean singles from Arthurian Legends or Beta? Are we talking Beta here? Because there's, I'm easy on the crazy. So sorry. Excuse me. Hello, the protagonist. Oh no, I have an unanswered DM from you, I think. Oh, I just realized. I'm sorry. Good to see you. I actually missed our conversations. So great that you can make it.
And also the next one.
What is this?
Don't toss the binders. Yes, of course, I don't know. I don't know about repairing, but
yes, but Babamoo has. That's why he's saying it.
Oh, cool.
Babamoo, guys. Babamoo, whose comment we just put up right there, he did this really cool alteration type thing where he took out the binder pages and then put in a binder ring thing, so you can actually use them and not throw out these beautiful binders.
Oh, so you just have the casing?
So you use the casing and then you put in, and I don't remember if you glued it in or but you can use it still, and then you have the ring binder stuff for the
have
pages.
You seen me doing crafts?
I would not let you do it.
No, definitely. That would be an even more horrific sort of binder after.
No need for the poor binder to suffer more.
And also I don't know if everybody's binder is the same as ours, but you can still actually fit all 3 slots. And of course, the top slot is going to be a bit more cramped, but I'm a barbarian, so I would have no problem just putting ordinaries up there without any sleeves. It'd be fuck it. Sorry. F it.
I'm more if I want to have a really beautiful set, and I love having the set and just looking through it, enjoying the art, whatever. I just don't want to have to cram even the ordinary cards into those very tight sleeves. I don't know. I'm a little more iffy about that.
I would be one of those guys that destroyed Alpha Llanowar Elves and Magic, probably.
Yes. Oh, but let's have a look here. Yeah. Okay.
I think we maybe covered
most of our things here. Yeah, so all in all, I mean, I do think what we are seeing now is the beginning of an uptrend. There's a lot of buyouts right now in the market, which means there are actually people out there speculating either on big buys for themselves, but unlikely probably, but also speculating that some of these cards are undervalued right now and will be worth more in the future. So there is a lot of faith still in the game. And I think that's great to actually see that people are thinking that Sorcery has a great future ahead of it, but hopefully I would not want to see too many buyouts, because if those people decide not that they won't go up, then prices might come tumbling down. But I also do think a lot of these buys, not the buyouts, but just buys of cards, are organic. People want to buy their Valley of the Light before it gets too expensive. People want to get their hands on Boudica before she goes up even more. A lot of these really playable cards are definitely also people who want them for their decks, or just want that single card to get in their collection and like just have the full set. So I think we're seeing both singles trend upwards, and we're also seeing Seal Beta. It is starting, not like massively, not exponentially, but it is slowly ticking up again. And I think that trend will continue until at some point we might get more information about where or when the beta reprint is coming.
Yes, and as Matthias also says, be the driving force in your community. If you have a lot of product lying around, build ordinary packs, build exceptional packs, build sorcery decks, bring them to stores, play a lot of sorcery, and once people have tried sorcery, once they have seen the cards, I think they're going to be hooked. At least that's what happened to us.
Yeah. And the more we play, the more I want to play. I think like every time now that we are playing and we get the play mat out and we're doing some fun plays, I'm like, ooh, I could just play one more, which ends up being really bad for like bedtime because we do have work tomorrow. But yeah, for sure, I think like getting some cards out there into the hands of people is really great. And we do have a portrait deck, like we have some lying around here that we need to do a giveaway with. So maybe for another live stream, we can give those away. I'm just going to quickly pick on this one. I absolutely think that some of these buyouts are not organic and are like orchestrated because people think they will spike later on. Speculation for sure. But I also see like, if you talk to some of the big single sellers, they're saying like, okay, but there are definitely people who are just like buying a play set because they want them for like, so they're able to make decks later on. So I think there's like a good mix. I also think some of this value we're seeing now is also organic, but not all of it. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no. Also, you're seeing some movements right now. Alpha files are definitely downtrending, and some people are definitely letting go of their alpha collections.
Yeah.
And the question is, are these collectors, are these flippers, are they in the game to actually, play and collect, or are they just in the game because they speculated that this game might have been great and just waited for the right opportunity to sell their alpha collections? We don't know, but we can see that alpha files and alpha cards definitely downtrending, but beta cards are sort of trending upwards. And Arthurian Legends, a lot of the cards have stabilized, and we're also seeing buyouts of foils in Arthurian Legends. So we don't know what to make of this, but it definitely sees that there's still a healthy growth in the game, and there's definitely still people out there wanting these cards.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of the alpha foils are, at least some of them, fairly cheap and maybe also a bit undervalued right now. And I mean, if you believe in the game and you want to go pick them up, now might be a great time to get some of those alpha foils. If you have like a favorite artist and you want to get all of the cards that they have in alpha, then I mean, by all means, this is a great time to pick them up. I mean, we have our alpha set and I wouldn't part with it for anything. I really love that set and I'm really happy to just have it. And we also still have some pauper decks consisting entirely of alpha cards. So yeah, but I mean, for some people, it might be a way to liquidate and just get out of it if they're going back to Magic, playing a new game, whatever. But if you're into sorcery and you want some alpha foils, go have a look at them.
Yeah, now is definitely the time.
Yep, for sure. So Rose Rantanen is saying, make a new list of the top cards, please.
In Arthurian Legends or in general?
Yeah, Rose, let us know. We will be happy to bring it up.
And of course, it's some cards are given. The ring in Arthurian Legends is in pretty much all of the decks, and then there's also some talks about if the ring should be banned. I don't think Eric Shields is going to ban cards, but there's definitely a player wish out there. But I think we might see some changes going forward. We saw that with the Roots of Yggdrasil. When that card became too dominant in the meta, we saw the changes in the deck sizes, and that sort of put a lid on the Roots of Yggdrasil's popularity. And we might see something similar going on with the ring. We might see new cards that prevent you from getting magic damage or something that.
I just want to point out, because that was just a thought that I had right now. I'll get back to the Ed Beard Jr. comment. I think it's actually really interesting to see that Eric has been maybe pretty good with sort of anticipating what's going to happen. Roots has definitely been calmed down in part by like other decks, but also the deck size increase. And again, Ring of Morrigan, as it is somewhat difficult to pull when you go up to 60. I mean, a lot of these things might just turn out pretty fine. And I think they're definitely going to wait for Gothic and that deck size increase until they decide to do something like banning. And again, they have said they don't really enjoy banning. They would rather try to fix it organically. So yeah, I think we're not going to see some bans, but I hear you. Top deck list will be something we'll look at.
That might be a future video.
Absolutely. I just wanted to pick on this one because
to round off.
Yeah, and also maybe just get back. There were a few comments. I think Raul replied, but Ed Beard Jr. actually wrote us to say, "Hey guys, we're thinking about the Kickstarter now that he spoke of in the interview we did with him, and they're really excited about. He's super excited about this new big art book. It will contain story elements from the Dragon Lord set, all these characters, a lot of narrative stories about them, but also a lot of other art and I think mini tutorials and stuff like that. So definitely go if you're following Ed Beard Jr. on Facebook right now. There is a post where you can interact and sort of tell him what you think would be cool for his Kickstarter. What kind of rewards would you like to see? What kind of
different tiers,
stretch goals, tiers, all that kind of stuff. So definitely go check out Ed Beard Jr.'s profile there.
And I think it's just going, I think it's going to be cool. I think art books are cool, and I think it will be a great momentum for sorcery down the road to have one of these books.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How could anyone leave this amazing game?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, I have to say, the more I play, the more I just really enjoy it. And I'm not a good player by any means, so it's not because I'm winning anything. I just really like and enjoy playing it. I like the art facet. I like the collectability aspect. For me, it's just it checks all of the boxes that I have for TCG. And I just also the community. You guys here, everybody we interact with in general is just super nice and absolutely having some of the best TCG moments we've had in a long time. And especially because we've done a lot of Magic content previously, and we actually have a fully scripted Magic video, and somehow I can't film it. One of the things we really try to is be authentic. So when we say we're passionate about sorcery, it's because we are. So I don't feel like we have the motivation for Magic right now. That might absolutely change, but seeing all of the sets coming out this year, so many universes beyond in standard,
Magic in Space,
race cars. Let's not forget square bob pens, whatever. I mean, So Magic is definitely not an option, as Eric is also saying here down below. Magic is not where I'm at the moment, because I just feel like it's too far gone. Wow, okay, that was a lot of comments.
Yeah, and the pace is just,
but we are still playing.
We still
Magic,
have our decks, and
have our collection.
I love playing Commander, and I have a lot of Commander decks, and we're still regularly, taking out our decks and playing. But right now, I think I have a much bigger enjoyment of sorcery. The pace is much more to my liking. The hand-painted art, it's just, it strikes this nostalgic bell.
Yeah.
True for me. And how can people leave this fantastic game? I have no idea, because I think the gameplay is great. I think the art is great. I think all the game really does is great. So, I couldn't leave the game. But then again, I can hardly part with any cards at all. So I might not be the best person to ask.
And Protagonist here is saying it's a mixture of selling out of alpha. Everyone I personally who went in have stepped away, and we were a mix of a group. Yeah, and again, for some people, I think they didn't get the collectability aspect prioritized enough and decided to move away from it. I think I'm still there's a good enough balance, and the game is so fun that I'm still enjoying it.
I also think that it's also about expectations. I think some people are expecting sorcery to right now be what old school Magic is and was 30 years about to accomplish, and I think that is the wrong mindset. And of course, if you're expecting that your cards are going to be outrageously priced, that you're going to be able to buy a house by selling your alpha cards, then I don't think that you have the right mindset actually to be in sorcery. I think we are going to see a slower growth in prices as we come along.
Yeah, and I don't know if people are quite that hyperbolic about it, but I do think like it's going to take a while, and I think the right collectability aspect is also there. Yeah, I just want to put that one up. But it's going to take some time, and I do think that they ended up printing more beta because the growth was actually just there. But also to keep the collectability aspect, I really do hope that this is the final beta reprint, because then I would like to see them focus on the Dragon Lord, Gothic, and if more beta cards are needed in the future, hopefully it will be via new artworks in a revised set. I just want to say, yeah, Ilmegan, people in Europe are mainly buying via Coldfall Heroes. We have a link down in the description, but he is in the US, and 2 new European stores have just come up. So rubble.dk, which is actually a Danish site, which might be good for you, I'm guessing by the name, is a site here in Denmark selling some cards, and also trollsoftherealm.com, which is 2 guys from Netherlands who are also selling cards. So there are like a few options, but Card Market would be a huge improvement. Do you want to just do the cliff notes, my friend?
I'm not certain what cliff notes.
Just like a brief summary of what we've been talking about.
Oh, great. So yeah, we've been talking about the beta reprint, the announcement of Team Covenant being out of stock, and we showed a graph. I can just show it again about what happened the last time that. Share screen. The last time Team Covenant announced that they were going to be out of print, wasn't it there? So we showed this graph, and you see this big jump in the graph right here. That is the last time Team Covenant said they were out of stock for beta. The prices just soared. Then summer beta was announced, and prices trended downwards again. And right now they have found this steady sort of line, and we're seeing a slight uptick. And we just discussed if this uptick is going to see the same explosion or it's going to be much more moderate. And our best guess is that it's going to be a more moderate price increase than what we saw the first time, because now people know that the reprint is actually coming. There's not the same sort of FOMO.
Yeah.
Also, files are being targeted. Files are being bought up. There are definitely buyouts right now happening, especially in Arthurian Legends, especially in the unique files. And we also had a discussion about what would be best to buy, Arthurian Legends or Beta. And our best buy right now is go with Beta. But of course, if prices in Arthurian Legends are going to be downtrending more and Beta is going to be uptrending, at a certain point, you might want to switch to Arthurian Legends, especially if you haven't bought any Arthurian Legends cards as of yet.
That was the cliff notes. I'm just going to grapple a couple of these comments here. How many expansions will they release this year? Hopefully only 1 per year, maybe max 2. So the whole idea is they're going to do like one main big set a year. Last year it was Arthurian Legends, and that was a bit of a smaller set. This year they have a mini set, which is the Dragon Lord, but that's only 13 cards. So that is really a specialty product, very small set. But maybe with a big impact. At least Ed Beer Jr., who is the artist, has hinted at that a couple of times. And then in the fall and winter, somewhere around Q4 probably, we are expecting the big set Gothic, which is going to be a big set. It's going to have precons, and it's going to be themed around Gothic. And the only thing we have right now is 1 art piece and 1 spoiler card, which is the Death Knight. So, and we have a video on that if you want to check it out. So again, the idea is for now, until they have said anything else, 1 major set per year, which is great if you want to keep that pace like nice and easy for all of us people who have busy lives, kids, hobbies, jobs, everything.
Yeah, and of course, as the comment also says,
go
smash that like button and leave a comment. It really helps the algorithm. So thank you, definitely, and also thank you for joining. I think we are ending the end of the stream.
I think we just need to pick up the last couple of comments.
Okay.
We should move you to the neck of the woods and start a sorcery bit called. Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, sorcery called sign me up. I don't know how exactly we would, everybody like gather. We are like in semi-detached houses, so I mean, everybody buy one, and we can all like meet in the middle and do a garden party.
Cool.
And have sorcery. I mean,
yeah. Being a cult leader has also, always been on my bucket list. So yeah.
Perfect. I mean, we just settled that, right?
Cool.
And we're getting amazed at how sorcery managed to strike at the core of nostalgia, being a completely new game. Hand-painted artwork sells a lot for me, and the spatial aspect. Exactly. Yeah. I think you said that much more succinctly than I managed to. Absolutely. I think it really hits at some of those like really core memories from playing back in the 90s. And also I think like having those cards and Eric and doing like, he has been like big into old school Magic, but also having him really curate all of these hand-painted art to fit in the theme, but at the same time, just have every card be really iconic, because that was also something that early Magic did. You could instantly recognize it on the board. Like you see Excalibur in Sorcery, you know what it is. If you see the ring, it's so crystal clear. It's so simple, but so elegant and beautiful. You instantly know what the card is. And I like that. And also, I like that there's not like a novel of text.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so did we have anything more?
Nope, just a lot of nice comments.
Nice. Okay, guys, I think we have to end it off here because Workday tomorrow. But guys, if you are interested in Ask and Rask, which is our tournament in March 8th in Aachen, Germany, we are co-hosting it together with Heiner from the White Rabbit Community Game Store, and also our good friend from Jürgen, Nerd and Proud of It YouTube channel. Please do check out either his channel or our channel tomorrow evening.
Still to be decided
around 9. And we will give you all of the information. And I do believe the tickets will also go up for sale. Please do remember, just like the last time, this is the version 2 of it. We had the first one in June last year. Seating is limited, and there are a good deal of people who have already said that they would love to come. So if you want to make sure you have a ticket, please do check out that live stream tomorrow, either on Nerd and Proud of It or right here on the Cardboard Guide.
And around 9.
Yes.
Okay. Danish time in the evening.
And remember, this time it is Jens you will get to see at the event in person.
So you can actually confirm that I do exist.
It's not a hologram.
I'm not a hologram. And not just a figment of your imagination.
Exactly. But guys, thank you so much as always. It was amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for being so engaged in the comments. We always love to engage with you, so it was really nice to have you here. And please do remember to smash the like button. It does help out a ton.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. It has been absolutely great. We really, enjoy these streams. It is, it's just so fun to engage with you, and we love your comments, your enthusiasm, and your support. So thank you. And we are now going to go to bed. We don't know what time it is at your end in the world, but we hope you have a very pleasant day or evening or night, whichever time it is.
And we will catch you in the Discord. So see you later or in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.